You can talk to each other about it. Okay, so I'll give you guys maybe another like 30, 40 seconds to finish up your quiz chapter 1.
Okay, I just said correlation doesn't equal causality. Like it, just because there's a correlation doesn't mean that one thing is the other.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
For the heavier cars that have a lower miles.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. First off, I want to introduce you guys. We have another tutor, a new tutor today, Victoria. So she's going to work with you guys on Tuesdays.
Hello, I'm Victoria. I'm here to help tutor you guys with statistics. Outside of class, if you need any other help, you can message me through Canvas once I get added to the class.
Great.
And outside of that, I can do also, you can schedule one-on-one tutoring through the tutoring center. As of right now, I don't have drop-in hours, but I do have some scheduled hours, which are going to probably change a little bit throughout the next couple weeks, just as things kind of get situated and you know, like kind of how many people want help with this stuff. But if you have any other questions or want to clarify on stuff that we did in class, please feel free to ask or send a message or anything.
Thank you. Excellent. So today we're going to be doing we're working on this quiz, and we're going to jump into chapter 2 today. Before we go further, I do want to talk about the binders. So any sort of 3-ring binder is fine. You can use like this is fine. It has 3 rings on it, right? Kind of the more typical ones might be like the 1-inch version of this is what most people get, something like that, or like that black one there. You see, like a 1-inch binder is plenty. Even a 1/2-inch binder is fine. You know, so those are like they have like a lot of those like at Dollar Tree even has those 1-inch binders. Just you need a 3-ring so that you can clip in all the handouts with the 3 holes. That's all. And you need to have 2 sections. So you're going to have 1 section for all the quizzes. So like this quiz you guys got today will be the first one in that group. And you're going to have a second section. And you can separate it. You can even separate it with just a piece of paper folded in half, or you know, anything you want. Just 2 sections. The second section will be your notes. So you'll have the chapter 1 notes from last class, and you'll have the chapter 2.2 notes, which is the notes we got today. That'll be the second group in there. I just need those in order, right? It can be earliest to latest or latest to earliest. I don't care as long as it's in order, one way or the other. Does that make sense? So. As long as you have all of your work in there, it's complete and accurate. So any of the quizzes that you've done, if you did it, if you got the wrong answer, just correct it, right? If all your work is in there, correct and complete, then you can get 2 points on every exam. So you want to do that. And I forgot to tell the class, but after the exam's over, you can take that stuff out and just, I would say, keep it in order. And then you can, if you don't have room in your binder for the next stuff, you can do it that way too. All right, good deal. Sunday, your first, so not Monday, I was wrong. It's Sunday, because this is kind of this is moving really quick, this class. It's a 12-week class. So Sunday is your first homework assignment in Connect Math. So make sure you guys log in, get going on that one, get started. And then Monday is the next one. So chapter 2 stuff is on Monday, and then the second part of chapter 2 is on Tuesday. So I have this kind of crammed in Sunday, Monday, Tuesday because chapters 1 and 2 are pretty easy, honestly. They should go a little bit quicker. And that way you have a little more time for chapter 4. Chapter 4 is where it starts getting a little bit tougher. So people typically don't have issues with chapters 1 and 2. It's where chapters 4 come in that things start getting a little more difficult. So I kind of want to spread those out a little bit more. So then your chapter 4 homework, first one will be on next Thursday. So make sure you jump on those quickly and get going on them. All right, so those are your homeworks. In addition to your homeworks, you'll have, after every homework, there'll be just the next day, will be a little quiz. And the quiz is just usually 2 problems from the homework, depending on, it might be anywhere from 1 to 4 problems, depending on how hard the problems are. If they're quick problems, 4. If it's a longer, harder problem, then maybe just 1. But it's just to make sure that when you do your homework, you don't do this. You don't do the whole, look at the example, figure out the next step, example, next step, next step, next step, and then you've done a problem, but you have no idea what you've just done, right? Because this class is not about learning how to follow directions. This class is about learning how to do statistics. So if you're going to look at the example, look at it, figure out from the example what to do and how to solve the problem, and then do the problem. So the quiz is just to make sure that you're doing that, right? That you have some knowledge of some of the problems you've done. And I would recommend you do it right away, right? Finish the homework and then do the quiz, right? It's just 2 more problems, or usually 2 more problems that you've just kind of completed. Again, those are the things you need to make sure you take care of in Connect Math. The homeworks are worth 15% of your grade. Those little quizzes are worth 4% of your grade. So you want to make sure you get to them all. Great. And then also make sure that you can move around a little bit today and Thursday, but Monday I want you guys to kind of pick a seat you want to stay in for a while, and I'm going to kind of learn names from there. So I'll lock you into your seats on Monday. Great. Again, quick reminder, if you have taken Math 40 before and purchased Connect Math, if you are one of the sections that you require to Connect Math, you do not have to buy it again. Right, so if you have taken Math 40 before here and purchased Connect Math, email me your name. Actually, what's helpful is the semester you took it in and the instructor you took it with, and I can look that up and find it, and I can get you a new code for that. So you don't have to buy a new code. Discussion board assignment. Yes. So our first discussion board assignment is due next Monday. It's an introduce yourself. So it's just, respond to my post and respond with 3 interesting facts about yourself and a picture of some sort. And then after you do that, by the following Thursday, look at some other folks in the class and pick 3 people who you kind of have a connection with, to what they've written, and respond to them. Right? So that by next Thursday. Yeah, go ahead.
Is that on Connect Math or Canvas?
This is on Canvas, sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, the discussion board's on Canvas. Yeah. So the only thing on Connect Math is going to be just the homework. Those homeworks and quizzes, that's it. Everything else will be on Canvas. Thanks. Yeah, great question. So it's in the Canvas discussion board. This is actually the wording that's in there, right? Applying to my post, include a picture and other stuff. And if you like to be called something different than what you're normally called, stuff like that. There you go. All right, so let's hop into the quiz. In the data below, X values are the weights in pounds of cars. Y values are the corresponding fuel consumption amounts. Given this information above, what might someone be able to find out by conducting a statistical analysis of the values? Or what question might they ask? Yeah?
How weight affects fuel consumption?
Yeah, how weight affects fuel consumption, or are weight and fuel consumption related in some way, right? So hopefully you guys kind of got that out of there. Right? Perfect. And again, you can only kind of say that they're correlated. You can't, without doing experiment, you can't say that one causes the other one, but you can, make some guesses. Okay, next one. What level of measurement are the following? Miles of road that you have traveled. Okay, so I am here. As I travel, if I have not traveled at all, if I've traveled 0 miles, does that really mean I have not moved at all? Mm-hmm. Yes. So that means 0 really does mean 0. So this is a case where 0 really does mean 0, none. So this one is the ratio. Does that kind of make sense? Good. So this one's ratio for that reason. I know it's a little bit tricky, and honestly, this is not very important in the scheme of this class. So if you get confused about between the interval and the ratio, like a lot of people do, don't sweat it. It's like one homework problem. If you miss it, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to be on the exam. It's not going to come up again in your life. So, or that I know of. It's certainly not going to come up again in this class. I don't know about your life, but okay. Years in which U.S. presidents were inaugurated. All right, so looking back, we got like say 2000, right? So they're inaugurated every 4 years, regardless of if they're reelected or not reelected. So 2000, 2004, 2008, 12, 16, 20. Are they in order? Is there an order? Like is 2004 before or after 2000 and 2000? Okay, good. Are they interval? So are they all kind of equally spaced apart? Yeah, they actually are. They're inaugurated every 4 years, regardless of if they're reelected or not reelected. Okay, so the next question is, does 0 really mean none before that? So the year 0, was that really when like time began? Or even when inaugurations began? No. So it is not ratio. Does that make sense? Okay. It is interval though. All right, so favorite animals. So this is how I meant it. Each person's favorite. So my favorite is an elephant. What's your favorite?
Cat.
Cat. What's your favorite?
Otter.
What was it?
Otter.
Otter? Oh, that's a good one. What's your favorite?
Cat.
Was it?
Cat.
Pick something else. Let's pick something else. Bear. Okay, great. Now, is cat rated higher than bear? Rated higher than otter? Rated higher than elephant? Or anything like that?
Yes. Definitely.
No. They're all not rated. I mean, they're all different people's favorite animals. Does that make sense? There's no order to them or ranking to them. So if you interpret it that way as each person's favorite animal, then that one would be what?
Nominal.
Nominal. Now, if you interpret it as this, my top 5 favorite, elephant, then penguin, then sea lion, then cat. Yeah.
Ordinals.
Then there's an order to them. Does that make sense? And that would be ordinal. All right, does everyone see the difference there? So if that was your interpretation, then you would have said ordinal. All right, great. Now, how about ratings of hotels? All right, so is a 2-star better than a 1-star, and is a 3-star better than a 2-star? Yes. So they're definitely ordinal. Now, is the difference between a 2-star and a 3-star the same as the difference between a 3-star and a 4-star?
Say it again.
Not necessarily. Is the difference between a 2-star and a 3-star the same as the difference between a 3-star and a 4-star? And let me ask you this: is even a difference between a 2-star, is the difference between any 2-star and 3-star the same as any other 2-star and 3-star? No. So even just between 2 stars and 3 stars, there's a range. Does that make sense? Like you can take a sketchy 2-star and a really nice 3-star and they're this far apart. Or you take a really nice 2-star and a kind of a sketchy 3-star and they're only this far apart. So the difference between them is not consistent. So that is not interval. Does that make sense, folks? Yeah.
But if it's one person giving their rating, then it's different than if it's an average of reviews, right?
Yes, but even so, like even if I was giving a rating, I mean, some 2-stars, I'd be like, they're a 2-star, and some 2-stars I'd be like, yeah, they're a 2-star, they're almost a 3.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So even within 2 stars, there's going to be a range. So for me, I'm not going to be consistent between it like the distance to a 2-star and a 3-star will vary a little bit for me, depending upon the exact 2-star and 3-star we're talking about. So it's not interval. Versus miles, if the difference between 17 miles and 18 miles is exactly the same distance as between 22 miles and 23 miles. 1 mile is 1 mile no matter what. Do you guys see the difference? It's still, 5,200 and whatever feet. It's that much distance. So this one is ordinal. All right. Next. Are the following discrete or continuous? When a lobster tail is randomly selected, it is found to have a weight of 5.34 ounces. Is weight something that you count or measure? Measure. So then is it going to be discrete or continuous?
Continuous.
Continuous. Now, if continuous, did anybody say we rounded to the nearest hundredth? So we discretized it, so it's discrete. You can absolutely do that. That'd be full credit on the exam as well. Because we rounded it to the nearest hundredth of an ounce, we've discretized it, we've discretized it. So now that makes it discrete when you round like that. And so if you said, because you rounded to the nearest hundredth, it's discrete, full credit. But because weight is something we measure, if you say discrete, because we discretize it, you have to say why. Does that, everyone follow? Good? Okay. Did anybody do that? Okay, now you're going to write down the notes. I'm not going to bother. Okay, good deal. Amount spent on textbooks this semester. Is money something that you count or something that you measure? Count. So then is it going to be continuous or discrete? Discrete. Discrete. Fastest speed of a race car. Is speed something that you count or measure? Measure. So is it going to be continuous or discrete? Continuous. Good. Cool. All right. Next problem. Subjects were divided into 2 groups and asked to think of creative uses of a brick. In one group each play. Okay, so what are my 2 variables? What's one variable? Guys, what's one variable? So what 2 things, there's 2 things I know about every single person in the subject, each subject. What's one thing I know about every subject, every person? What's one thing I know about it? Okay, and what do I know about it? Like say you're one of the people. What's one thing I know about you? About groups. What group you're in. Yeah, whether you're the red group or the group. So what group you're in. What's another thing I know about every single person?
Their score.
What their creativity score. So those are my 2 variables. What room they're in, what color room they're in, and what their creativity score is. Which one do I control?
The color of the room.
Color of the room. That's the independent variable. Does that make sense? The one that I mess with. So color of the room. That's the independent variable. The creativity score. Is the dependent variable. All right. Good. So I saw this online. This problem said, are people who have a college degree more respectful of the law than people who do not have a college degree? Identify the variables, independent or dependent. Why did I have a problem with this? Why don't you guys take 30 seconds to talk to your neighbors about it? Why did I have a problem with it?
Maybe there's too many variables. Yeah, I was just saying there's too many things that could. Like what college did they go to? I
Confounding variables, you can't separate like
It's too biased.
background or degree type or field.
There might be, okay, so yeah, there might be a confounding variable in there. Yep, definitely. Yeah.
There's no like way to measure respectfulness. They don't
Okay.
say like, is it a number?
Yeah, I mean, they might have some way, I don't know. I don't know how it would be, but yeah. But why did I have issue with this? What's like, yeah.
Maybe because you don't know if there was an experiment that directly showed that one correlates to another or causes another.
Right, so if I did an experiment on this, what would an experiment look like? What did they intend for the independent variable to be?
The level of degree.
You'd have to look
The
at-
college degree.
College degree.
The college degree. Does that make sense? So if I did an experiment, what would that mean I did? Yeah.
Do a study.
Yeah, you divided them into like 2 groups, like one with college degrees and one without.
Well, no, even worse than that. I randomly split you guys into 2 groups. You guys have to get a college degree. You have no choice. I'm going to ride you day and night and force you to get a college degree whether you want one or not. You guys, I don't care if you're going to Harvard, you get no college degree. You're not allowed to get a college degree at all.
So it's not that.
And then,
It's immoral.
5 years later, figure out whether people are respectful of the law or not. Totally unethical. You can't do that, right? You can't force someone to get a college degree or deny someone a college degree. So it's completely impossible to do this because which of these, like someone said earlier, the independent variable is the one that I control, the one that I mess with. How am I going to mess with either one of these? Does that make sense? But I can't say, well, you guys have to go out and like be disrespectful of the law somehow. Go out and slug a police officer. I don't know, whatever, right? And you guys, I mean, you can't really like mess with that. So there's no way of having an independent variable because there's no way of having a variable that you have somehow controlled. It's not an experiment. I mean, I'm absolutely certain they did not do an experiment. That would be totally insane to do that, do one like that. Yeah.
I know this wouldn't be the same as an experiment, but couldn't you use data that you find people that have a college degree and then somehow...
But see, the thing is, like someone said earlier, if it's not an experiment, there could be a confounding variable.
Right.
There could be something that causes someone to get a college degree that would also cause someone to be respectful of the law.
Right.
You don't know which one, and it could also be that if the more respectful of the law, the more likely you are to get a college degree because you're not in prison. I don't know, whatever, right? It's just, you don't know which one causes which.
It would just be a correlation.
Yeah, it would just be a correlation, exactly. Yeah.
What about if you, one group is of course the college students, but then the other group, they could be the same age range, but you get them.
You
from
have to
outside
randomly
college.
assign them to one group or the other. That's how experiment works. You can't say, well, I'm a drug company and I'm trying to prove that my vaccine against COVID works. So all you guys who stay in your rooms and like don't interact with other people, I'm going to put you in my drug group. And all you people who are out there partying every night and drinking in bars without masks, I'm going to put you in the other group. You can't do that. You know what I mean? You can't arbitrarily put people in groups. You have to randomly pick people and randomly put them into groups. Randomly. Yeah. Yeah, all good questions. I love this. All right, so experimental studies, right? You can control exactly what subjects you want to study and how to place them into groups. You can control and manipulate. You can control and manipulate the independent variable, right? You have total control over that. And because of that, you can determine if one variable causes the other one, right? Or causes changes in the other one. So, quiz number 5. Yeah, what's wrong with their conclusion? Anybody? See if we get someone different. Anyone else? Yep, we haven't heard from, I haven't heard from you yet. Go ahead.
Is it because it's like it doesn't guarantee that HRT is protective of CHD, where it's like the correlation does not equal causality?
Yeah, same thing, right? Correlation does not equal causality. So, because this was not there wasn't an experiment, it's an observation, you can't say that one thing causes the other thing. right? That's that big pitfall that I warned you would come up, and it might be a problem that's similar to that last thing, only not with the prompts that are so obvious, right? You can't conclude that one variable causes the other one if it's just an observational study. If it's, the only thing you can say is there's a correlation, that they're related. That whole thing, correlation does not imply causality. A correlation doesn't mean that one causes the other one. All right, and in fact, what happened was they did say, well, it looks like this one might cause that one because they're correlated. So they in fact did do an experiment, and they randomly assigned people into groups. They had one people do the hormone replacement therapy, and one group not. And what they found out was actually the opposite. That HRT actually causes a slight increase in heart disease, not a decrease. What they discovered was that because hormone replacement therapy is optional and not paid for, then typically people who do it are kind of more affluent, and those folks tend to have better diet, better exercise programs, stuff like that. So that third thing was really what was causing both of the other things to happen. Confounding variable. There you go. All right, so now on to chapter 2. So put away your quiz, bust out your chapter 2 notes. I'm going to go ahead and stop this and restart it.